let's have your list. Number 5 of the things that you would do if you ruled the world.
Okay, so this is something that's just annoying me personally, but
That's
I'd be
okay.
ruling the world.
Yes.
Today I got slapped with a £65 fine for apparently doing an illegal manoeuvre somewhere in London.
Was this
I
in
had
a
no
car?
idea.
Yes, I was thinking. Who were you with?
Was it in a car? Or...
What were you doing?
It was in a car.
I see.
Sorry. I was a motorist.
Right.
I was driving my little Polo around.
Oh, yes.
And obviously I did something terribly naughty, terribly against the rules. And so I'd probably get the traffic wardens or the local authorities or whatever shut down who do these types of things.
So if you ruled the world, you'd stop all traffic regulations.
Well,
so
you know
that you
what?
could drive illegally.
Yes, essentially.
Okay, that's a very good.
I think we have far too many traffic lights.
Get rid of all laws on the roads.
To be honest, if you did rule the world, you would be able to do whatever you liked on the road because that's what they do anyway. Yeah. You know,
apart from e-scooters, I don't want those.
You don't want e-scooters. I once was given a ticket similar to that. I went into Chinatown, and you know where there's an NCP car park? It's always full.
Is one there,
it's always full, right? You go in.
It's a mere 70 quid a day, isn't it?
You can't get in. You can't get in, so you have to reverse out because it's very difficult to get out. And then you get out, and there's no sign that tells you which way you can go. But apparently you can't turn right, as I learned to my cost, because when I turned right, I then got a ticket for it for about 65 quid.
But I think this was in one of those LTNs.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Oh, so you've actually gone down somebody's residential street?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they've sent me some pictures, so I guess I'll have to look at those.
I have no clue now.
Images.
Driving around London, you don't know which way to go. There's lights pointing you that way. You've got like little bicycle green lights. You've got bicycle red lights. The bikes aren't adhering to any of the lights. They just do whatever they like. The bus lane goes from left to right. The cycle lane goes across it. It's like being in some giant game of Transformers.
65 quid. You've got to earn what? Over 100? You know? It's quite a lot of money.
Luckily you do.
It is still a strange way to improve
you won't be doing
the world.
that again.
It's a strange way to improve the world, to abolish all traffic regulations.
There's far too many traffic lights.
There are way too many traffic lights. It's ridiculous.
So that's what we're going to do. Abolish traffic regulations.
Yes, see what happens.
I think that's a good start.
Let's see.
What's your number 4?
Okay, the next one is I would abolish the World Health Organization.
Now that's also a good idea.
Now you're talking.
And basically all of these sort of international organisations.
Yeah.
It could be the UN.
Like the UN,
could be the European Union.
UN's hopeless.
All of these sort of talking shops.
Yes.
That don't really serve us.
Think of the money we'd save.
Think of the money.
What is it that they turned to? The biggest con of recent times, when we were all furious for years with that pathetic organisation, Public Health England, which before the COVID crisis...
They changed the name of it, didn't they?
Well, that's my point. Well, no, you're missing the point. They remember before the COVID crisis, they used to bombard us with, if you have one glass of wine a month, you will die. If you have one beer, you'll get cancer. You know, that's what they used to do. And then along came the COVID crisis and they became our...
but their first priority was supposed to be infectious diseases.
Yes.
Same with the WHO. And guess what? They're talking about
they
the
managed
size
to
of your
get that completely wrong, didn't they?
But then it turned out that about 800,000 people worked there and they were all on about £100,000 a year. And it was seen to have performed very badly in the COVID crisis. So they said, right, we're going to scrap it. That's what the people want.
Yeah.
And all they did was change the name.
Yes.
It's still there.
And they still call it Public Health England,
well,
even
they call it like
different.
some of the Institute of English Health or something. You know, it's just got a new name. They didn't scrap it.
Right. Well, that was Matt Hancock for you. He just did the same to Mrs. Colladangelo, didn't he? Just changed her name, moved her out of the marital home. Now they're nicely set up somewhere near Judy Hartley Brewer's house, apparently.
Oh, really?
Anyway, let's have your number 3.
Okay, so this isn't a banning something. This is going to be that teachers in schools must teach the evils of socialism. Because at the moment we get a nice version presented to children, and I would like it to be mandatory in the curriculum that children need to learn about, you know, Stalin and what socialism has done in the 21st century.
China, perhaps.
Was it Diane Abbott said that, yes, Chairman Mao may have been responsible for 30 million deaths in the worst genocide that the human race has ever seen, but there were there were a lot of good things about him as well.
But I mean, we always talk about Hitler, but we never talk about in schools really these communist evil dictators.
Yeah,
so,
and they're going to teach that you're going to get a GCSE in climate change. Well, why can't you get a GCSE in socialism is rubbish?
Well, quite.
That's a good
Or maybe
one.
just a bit of economics. That might teach them.
That bit of economics would definitely teach them. So number 2.
Number 2, scrap net zero targets.
Excellent.
Yes.
This is going well, you know. I'm voting for Emily Carver.
We're giving you the world. You're going to rule it, definitely.
Yeah.
Scrap net
You've
zero.
got what it takes, Emily.
Because they just lead to the most stupid policies. The government is just virtue signalling over these targets. They don't know how they're going to get there.
They're not
it's a
gonna get
waste
there.
of time and money and resources, and they should let people just, you know, get on with their lives.
But, I mean, also, this is right now costing all of us thousands of pounds every year because Boris Johnson puts a 25% levy on all of our energy bills to pay for his carbon net zero fantasy, his stupid green dream that is never going to happen. It's an outrage.
It is an outrage. We haven't got much time for number 1, so better tell us what it is now.
Okay, I think we need to take out Putin.
Take him out.
Take him out.
See,
Where
now-
to a restaurant?
No,
or?
not on a date,
Yes.
as in slot him.
Right.
Because the number of
very
people...
violent talk.
Well, it's not, you know... Okay, that's a little bit violent.
No, it's fine.
But I do think
all
that
right.
if... You know, I said at the start of this, I want to achieve world peace.
Yes.
So, on that basis, and to that end, I think that must be done.
I think you're probably right. I think a lot of people will agree with you. We're going to ask you to stay around with us for a moment because we might get some reaction to that. So 5 things that Emily Carver would do to rule the world, from slotting Putin to making sure you can't get a parking ticket for going down the wrong way and down a one-way street. It's a very eclectic mix here at talkTV.